Jason Roy from Building 429.
Hi. How are you?
We are good. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out this morning,
I'm
sir.
so glad. And I love to hear my friend Jason Gray. That was awesome.
All the Jasons are so good at writing songs and singing songs.
That's what I've been at. Especially other Jasons than Jason Roy. But I really like Jasons as a whole.
They're cool. They're cool.
Can't wait to hear your new song here we're going to play in just a couple of minutes. But we heard a story. We know that you're no stranger with the Winter Jam Tour, so a lot of our listeners may have seen you very recently
That's
there.
right, yeah.
I was wondering if you could start out this morning. I happen to have heard that you had a very interesting experience where you gave away a lot of guitars on the Winter Jam Tour.
That's right.
And that kind of came from we're going to do that here this morning at about 8:30. We're going to give away a guitar.
Yes, I like doing that. It's fun.
And that came from a really important experience in your own life, right?
It did. Yeah, it did. When I was a kid, my family kind of went through this kind of ugly divorce, and things kind of fell apart around me. And I had this youth pastor in Northeast Texas that was kind enough to take me in, kind of, and he took me to a concert to see a band called Third Day.
Right.
They were just coming out, and there at the Third Day concert, he pointed out Mac Powell, and he said, "I really believe that you're called to do that, kid." And,
wow.
And I remember telling him, nobody cares what I think about this world. Nobody cares. People are laughing at me and my family right now.
You're saying that to your youth pastor?
Yeah. How could I ever be used like that? And he said, I believe with all my heart, you're meant to take the hurt that you feel, write it into songs, and juxtapose it against the hope that you have in Jesus Christ. And then he drove me 30 miles down the road. He bought me my first electric guitar just as a kind gift. And he said, now you take this guitar and you go share your music with the world, because he knew I couldn't afford it. And because of him, now some 20 years, 25, a long time later.
Don't want to tell your age on air.
I'm still playing music and giving, and we gave away a guitar every night to hopefully pay it forward the same way.
That was so awesome to do that. And we're so happy to get the chance to do that this morning about 8:30. We'll give you some details on how you can win that. Now, you don't just tell that story to say that Third Day is like 20 years older than you then. Although, what's all this about Third Day retiring? Can they do that?
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
I
love
joke.
Mac. I'm such a huge fan of Third Day. I'm actually a huge fan of legacy artists.
Yeah,
I love Stephen Curtis. I love old DC Talk. I love Jars of Clay. I can't help it. But the Third Day, I'll believe it when I see it that they're gone.
That's right.
We'll be back with Jason Roy from Building 429, and here's some music coming up. Jason Roy from Building 429 is here. You like hearing your song on the radio? That's fun.
Man,
I think that's fun.
It's so awesome. I mean, the first time, I can actually remember the first time I ever heard a song that we wrote called Glory Defined. It was our first single.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the time that I heard it on the radio for the first time. It was at 12:06 a.m. We knew the radio station was going to play it, and I didn't have a radio in our house. So at 12:06 a.m., we went outside to the car.
Yeah.
And I had to crank it up and turn the heat on like 20 minutes early. So, and we carried my baby son out there, and my wife and I sat there and listened. So, we celebrate things like that, man. Every time that a song gets played on the radio is a big deal. As you're younger, it's like, they're supposed to play it. When you get older, you're like, they don't have to play this song, so it's really awesome.
That's really cool.
Man, totally our pleasure, and pleasure to have Jason from Building 429 here. In a minute, we're going to tell you how you can win this awesome electric guitar that Jason's going to sign and give away coming up at 8:30 this morning.
Yeah, this is cool. So tell us about this song, You Can. I'm looking at the lyrics, and it's like, okay, we can't do everything, but we know a God who can.
Yeah.
What's your message to people who are kind of feeling like, I just feel down, or I just feel like I failed in life? What would you say?
Well, I think the first thing I would say is that we are all people who are wired to play checkers, right? Mm-hmm. We are always looking at a board and going, if I can just take this next step. And sometimes we feel surrounded and locked in and like we can't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. But I believe that God plays chess when we play checkers. And he's like, no, I can move you from one side of the board to the entire other side of the board in one fell swoop and call checkmate immediately. Yeah. And I think about this song from the standpoint of, if we look back at every moment of our lives where it seems impossible, those are the moments that we know for a fact that God had to show up. If you talk about the Israelites walking across the walking across the Red Sea. It had to be impossible, right?
Yeah.
For God to be the one who did it. The same thing when they walked across the Jordan, right? They walked across the Jordan when it was dry. It had to be impossible for God to be given all the glory. And so, with this record and this song, it took me 3 years to get it done. I didn't understand. It was almost impossible to get this record done. And about halfway through it, I realized why. My manager, who's a dear friend of mine, was diagnosed with cancer. And it was this awful ordeal. He had to go through all these surgeries. And what I realized was that there was no way for me to complete the songs and the record that I was writing and it to have the impact on people that it needed to have until I was willing to walk through the fire with a manager, with my friend, and watch him, face life and death and see God show up and be faithful in the middle of it. And so we call those our monuments. And
Totally.
So we have to look back and see the monuments of what God has done to know that God can do it again. And that's what You Can's all about.
It's great. Love it.
It's Jason Roy from Building 429. We just got a text from Michelle who said, I saw Building 429 for my first winter jam ever in Rosemont this year, and they were great. Love that new song you guys just played.
That's nice.
Yes.
Why does it say avocado toast in our show notes today?
So we found out that Jason likes avocado toast. I was looking at your Instagram, and so we got the avocado toast ingredients this morning, and we thought that you could teach us how to make it. A little food session.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that
love
next.
It. Sounds great.
Are you good with people like Lindsay just going through your Instagram and learning things like this?
I have certainly learned that if you put it on Instagram, it may come back to bite you.
It's gonna get out. Sabrina, hello.
Hi. I was just calling to say that the very first Christian song I ever heard was Where I Belong, which just played.
Yeah.
By Building 429, and I have been hooked and listening to WBGL ever since then.
We like that.
That's really cool. So Jason Roy from Building 429 is here this morning. How does it make you feel when somebody says that?
That's absolutely awesome, and I think it's so cool because I can hear that it means something. You can tell sometimes when somebody's like, "Oh, I heard your song, it's good," and you can also hear when somebody's like, "For real, like it really means something." And so, man, so cool. Thank you for calling in and letting us know. It's amazing.
I was very lost until I realized that I do belong somewhere.
That's sweet.
Beautiful. Well, hold on just a second, Sabrina. We want to get your info. It's 8:30, and yes, so this we've been talking about this. Jason Roy from Building 429 shared how a couple of decades ago his youth pastor took him to a Third Day concert, bought him a guitar, and said, those guys, what they're doing on stage, basically that you could do that. I mean, it's like a prophecy almost.
It was, yeah.
Obviously, that guitar has meant something to you, and so you have taken some time to give away guitars to kids. Is that right?
Yeah, we wanted to pay it forward, and we felt like it was this opportunity to give hope to people who needed a little bit of hope, because it was massive for me. It was this massive moment where somebody actually believed in me, and that God had done something, and physically, again, that monument thing, had physically given me something. I still have that guitar, and it's my son's first guitar.
Really?
You know what I mean? So that guitar means the world to me, and so that's kind of why we wanted to pay it forward that way.
So cool. So there's a really cool rock and roll style blue guitar in here that, Jason, if you're cool with autographing that.
I love it.
We're going to give it away if you text the word guitar, how do you spell guitar?
GUITAR.
I got to set the thing up.
Okay, yeah. So text the word guitar, and then we're going to pick a winner to win this. It is cool. It's like a royal blue, like a deep royal blue electric.
Hell yeah.
Electric guitar. You plug that thing in, you get an amp, you rock and roll. Jason's going to autograph it for you from Building 429. But the number to text is 866-917-9245.
That is so cool. Again, just the word guitar, 866-917-9245. But on the Winter Jam tour, Jason, as you were giving away, I mean, you played the guitar on stage.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you gave it to, have you ever heard back from any of the people that won those guitars? Are they playing them at least, hopefully?
Yeah, it's funny. You wouldn't believe how many times, you're drawing a name out of a hat. And a couple of times we would draw a name out of a hat, and there would be this kid who was like, I started playing guitar and it broke, and we didn't have the money to get another one. But I used to lead worship, and I've been praying for a guitar somehow, and here it is. So we get contacted. It comes through Twitter, through whatever, and they show us pictures of themselves playing. It's good. Actually, I need to do that today. I may post something today. Just say, hey, You guys that won guitars, like hit us up. We want
What
to
are
see
you
what
doing
you're
with
doing
those
today.
things?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I just deceived our Facebook Live audience. I said that he was Jonathan
Yeah,
and you were Lindsay,
you're tricky.
and I'm Jason from Building 429.
Yeah.
Just so my coolness level would go through the roof.
Yeah.
But in actuality, that's all mixed up. But we have fun stuff we got to do today.
Yeah, so Jason Roy from Building 429 is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being at WBGL today. So I was sneaking around on your Instagram.
Yeah.
And I saw that you like avocado toast. You
This
said
is true.
Your wife makes it for you.
Yes.
It's really nice. So I love avocado toast too. And so I thought, I'm going to get the ingredients and let's have Jason from Building 429 teach us how to make avocado toast. So we're
Wow.
we're live on Facebook if you want to see this on video. But I challenge you to be very descriptive about what you're doing.
Yes, I
with
can be
your
very,
words.
very descriptive.
Okay.
Yes. So when am I supposed to commence making this stuff?
You can start right
Oh,
now.
I can go now. All right. Well, the first thing that I think is important to note is that it's all about the ingredients, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
about having avocados that are not too new, right? You got to make sure that they're ready to, and you can put them in a brown bag,
Yeah,
right?
that's
to,
right.
To age them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And my daughter sometimes will put them actually in the microwave.
Oh, I didn't know
and,
about
and
that.
wrap them up, and they'll age that way.
So what kind of bread do you like to use? Now we have
Okay.
wheat this morning, but I didn't know.
Yeah. All right. So this is great, but the best way I think to do it is to get some Texas toast.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Go ahead and go all the way and have that nice big thick toast.
Okay.
And then that, or you can. My favorite is Ezekiel bread. Have you ever had that?
Oh, Jonathan, you eat that,
Yeah,
I
absolutely,
think, don't you?
yes.
That stuff is awesome.
So then how well toasted do you like it? Intern Colton toasted the bread. I thought he did a good job, but I don't.
I think to me, as long as the color is pretty consistent overall.
Yeah.
I sound like a painter right now.
Well, he's spreading mashed avocado onto a piece of
Right.
Yes.
fake Texas
That's
toast right now.
the start. This is the start. All right, so listen, here's the other thing. There are a couple of ingredients that are missing here, but that's okay.
Oh, we're sorry.
And no, you're good. The thing is, too, you want a lot of avocado.
Now, I noticed that you're like really mushing it down. So you like it to be pretty
No,
flattened or you like it to be
I
tall?
start with a layer that's mushed down.
So
and
that's
then
just the
come back
pre-layer,
around.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
Pre-layer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all don't understand. Y'all may be here for 30 minutes while I work on this. All right, that's the way.
This is gonna be
All right,
long.
So we're going to start there.
Okay.
He's from Texas,
That's a
after
starting
all.
point. And
Now,
then
what do you wanna do?
I love what you have here. I love that you have the everything but the bagel sesame season. This is going to be actually pretty awesome.
That's so good.
Time's up. Am I done?
No, we
No.
had product placement. They're a sponsor of ours.
Oh,
Just kidding. So
I was
yeah,
about
that's
to
the
say,
Trader.
wow.
That's the Trader Joe's seasoning that he's
I
putting
love
on
it.
there, right?
Actually, I'm going to do it. There we go. That's
That's
good.
beautiful.
And then,
What do you like next?
well, what I usually like next, and by the way, the layer would normally have jalapenos
Oh, okay.
without seeds.
Okay.
So it's not too smoking hot, but you do avocado, some small jalapeno pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would add some seasoning. Then you would go with your cilantro
Okay.
and a little bit of sprouts.
I feel like this
Excellent.
is kind of a Texas version of avocado toast because I've never heard of people putting jalapeno on it. But that
Well,
would make it a little spicy, a little Texas.
But again, if you do it without the seeds, you're okay.
Now, for
Okay.
our people that aren't watching on Facebook, if you're watching on radio, so he's got or listening on radio, got the toast covered by a bread of avocado. He put the sprinkled seasoning on it.
Mm-hmm.
The chunks of feta cheese, which honestly look like marshmallows.
Yes, they
but
do.
they're not.
Yeah, they
and
do.
then what's going on top of there now?
Well, like I said, we don't have
The jalapeno. Yeah.
So we're going to add a little bit of spice to it with some crushed red pepper, just a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. And then I think look at that, man. You are a radio producer. Look at that. He knew exactly what to do. All right, so just a touch of it, and then you could, I guess if you wanted to, you could go over the top with some Parmesan on top
yeah.
of it.
Do you want to do that?
I think I
you're-
kind of do.
you're
but-
here,
But
you
I
might as
also,
well.
I don't know, that would
wanna
be a little excessive,
I want to be just really, really, but not a lot. Like
Just a smidge.
Here, watch. This
Just
is
a little sprinkle.
You got to go with the hand thing here.
All right.
so that-
Again, we're live on Facebook if you want to see Jason Roy
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Building 429's avocado toast.
There
It's
you go.
gorgeous.
Hand sprinkling
It is
the Parmesan
gorgeous.
on top.
And
That
we
is
have
really beautiful.
And then the final layer for me is always a little bit of sea salt.
Okay. Okay.
But that's good. There it is.
Now,
Cool, good job.
our show is only about Jesus and food, those two topics. So I was wondering if you could create some sort of spiritual analogy to go along with your avocado toast today.
Yeah. Wow. Put me on the spot here. I think I'm thinking about Bruce Almighty suddenly, this movie. But I would say that, man, I think that anything that is good is like taking your time, right? It's all about
Yes.
the ingredients. Like how pure are the ingredients? And for me, I go back to the Word of God. And I build my faith slowly, a piece at a time, and it's constant. That's a constant movement towards having something that's going to actually be presentable and is consumable, right? And that's why I share my faith a piece at a time based on the Word of God, which is the greatest part of a recipe. So boom, there you go.
I love it. Jason Roy.
I
no literally
idea what
almost
I just
said
said.
Jason Gray from Building 429.
Jason Roy from Building 429 is here. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, guys.
You can check him out on Facebook, the Morning Show Facebook page. He just made avocado toast.
Oh, there's an incredible video on there.
Man, it was good. You ate it too.
It was actually, I mean, we were making some lemonade there, but man, that was some good lemonade. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was really good. So the next thing that I found out about you on Instagram is that you write prayer requests on your hand.
I do.
With a Sharpie. Right. I think you write, well, I don't know. You tell us about why you do it.
Yeah, I just don't. I've spent a lot of time when I was younger as an artist. People would come with prayer requests, and it was a bit overwhelming. And because I started when I was 19, 20, and I'd say things like, "I'll pray for you," and then I realized that really doesn't mean anything until you actually do what you say you're going to do, and until you actually remember people. And so, the cool thing about writing people's names on my hand is that it does stay on my hand for 2 or 3 days, and that's long enough for me to get home and to put it in front of my wife and for my family and for all of us to pray for people. And so, that's why I've been doing it ever since. When people come with stories of struggles or whatever, sometimes my hand is just black because it's full, but sometimes, it's 1 or 2 people. And honestly, it's a great reminder to me that what we do matters.
Yeah.
So that's why I do it.
That's good.
Now, what are we doing with those Sharpies over there?
Here's the thing. I got a bunch of Sharpies, and I thought if you wanted to, do what Jason does, because I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
To actually say, no, I'm not just going to say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. I'm actually going to pray for you and write your name down. I got a bunch of Sharpies, and you can text us to win them, and we'll throw in a little note that says, hey, be like Jason, he'll sign it. But just as a thing, I think it's so important that we pray for each other. We carry each other's burdens. We rejoice with each other. And maybe it's a way that you can start doing that with your friends.
So cool. So if you want to win that, just send us a text, 866-917-9245. And you can have that same kind of Sharpie and get into that same experience. Jason Roy from Building 429, thanks for hanging out today.
Man, it's been awesome. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Great time, guys. I really appreciate it. Great